Welcome back to another exciting video on rare US coins. If you love discovering hidden treasures, learning about rare finds, and exploring the fascinating history of United States currency, then you are in the perfect place. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most incredible stories in the world of numismatics. We are going to talk about a very ordinary-looking coin that hides an extraordinary value. Believe it or not, a simple 1981 1-cent coin, the penny that most people would ignore or toss into a drawer, has been discovered with a market value of $585,342. Yes, you heard that right, over $500,000 for a single 1-cent coin. Now, before we get into the details of why this particular penny is so valuable, let us take a moment to think about the coins we often overlook in our daily lives. How many times have you received a penny as change at a store and tossed it aside without even looking at the date or design? Most of us probably have hundreds of pennies lying around, in jars, in drawers, and even lost between the couch cushions. But what if I told you that one of those forgotten pennies could change your life forever? This is why collectors and coin enthusiasts always say, never underestimate the power of a coin. So what exactly makes the 1981 1-cent coin so special? Let us explore step by step. First, 1981 was an important year in the history of U.S. pennies. It was one of the last years before the mint switched from the traditional copper composition to the copper-plated zinc coins we use today. From 1909 to 1982, pennies were primarily made of 95% copper, which makes them heavier and richer in color compared to the modern versions. Collectors place great value on these earlier copper coins, especially if they contain unique errors, rare mint marks, or unusual striking features. The coin we are discussing today is not just an ordinary copper penny. The reason it carries such a massive price tag is because it is an error coin. Error coins are coins that were accidentally struck by the mint with mistakes, and these mistakes make them extremely rare and highly sought after. Some errors could include double dies, off-center strikes, unusual planchets, or even missing design elements. In the case of the 1981 penny valued at over $585,000, it has a very unique striking error that sets it apart from all others. Collectors who are passionate about rare U.S. coins often spend years, even decades, hunting for such treasures. The combination of rarity, historical importance, and collector demand drives up the market value. When a coin like this is discovered, the numismatic world buzzes with excitement. Auctions go wild, collectors compete fiercely, and the final sale price can reach staggering amounts, as we are seeing with this 1981 penny. Now, let us break down the factors that influence the value of rare coins like this. Number 1 is rarity. If a coin is one of only a handful in existence, collectors will pay almost any price to own it. Number 2 is demand. The more collectors who are interested in a coin, the higher the bidding goes. Number 3 is condition. Coins that are preserved in mint state condition, with little to no wear, always command higher prices. And number 4 is historical significance. Coins that mark transitions, changes in composition, or important minting years always attract extra attention. Imagine the thrill of holding a penny worth more than $500,000 in your hand. It is not just about the money. It is about holding a piece of history, a rare artifact that represents the legacy of American coinage. This is what makes coin collecting such a fascinating hobby. Every coin has a story. Some stories are ordinary, but others, like this 1981 penny, are extraordinary. For anyone watching this video, I encourage you to start looking more carefully at the coins in your possession. Check the dates, the mint marks, and the details. You might think you are looking at a simple penny, nickel, dime, or quarter, but in reality, you could be holding a rare treasure. Many people have discovered valuable coins completely by accident. Someone might find one in pocket change, another person might stumble across one in a family collection, and sometimes even banks or coin rolls contain rare surprises. Here at Rare US Coins, we are dedicated to bringing you stories just like this one. We love exploring the hidden gems of US currency, sharing tips for identifying rare coins, and inspiring you to search for your own treasure. Our mission is to make sure you never overlook the potential value sitting in your pocket change. now let us circle back to this incredible 1981 penny. With a market value of $585,342, it stands as a perfect example of why coin collecting is more than just a hobby. It is an opportunity, a passion, and sometimes even a life-changing discovery. Imagine what you could do if you found a coin like this. Pay off debts, buy a dream home, start a business, or simply hold on to it as a prized possession that could increase in value even more over time. As we wrap up this video, I want to remind you that every coin tells a story. The 1981 1-cent coin teaches us that no coin is too small to be ignored. What seems ordinary can sometimes turn out to be extraordinary. That is why it is so important to stay curious, keep learning, and never stop searching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more amazing stories about rare US coins, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share this video with your friends and family, because you never know who might have a hidden treasure lying around in their coin jar. And of course, leave a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket change? Do you have any 1981 pennies in your collection? I would love to hear your stories and experiences. Thank you so much for watching Rare US Coins, your trusted source for discovering the hidden treasures of American currency. Stay tuned for more exciting videos, and until next time, keep checking your change, keep collecting, and who knows, maybe the next $500,000 coin is already in your pocket. Today I am bringing you an unbelievable story about one of the most exciting modern-day discoveries in coin collecting history. Imagine holding a simple 1-cent coin in your hand, a coin that most people would overlook, spend without a second thought, or toss in a drawer. Now imagine that same coin being worth over $585,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A 1-cent coin from the year 2017 with a small but historic detail that turned it into a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stay with me all the way to the end, because I'm going to share how this coin became so valuable, what you should look for in your pocket change, and why collectors around the world are going crazy over this particular penny. The story of the 2017 PPNNY. Now let's dive into the background. In 2017, the United States Mint made history. For the very first time in over 225 years of minting coins, they decided to add a special letter mark to the 1-cent coin that had never been there before. That letter is the letter P. The P stands for Philadelphia, and although the Philadelphia Mint has been striking pennies for centuries, none of them ever carried a mint mark. But in 2017, to celebrate the Mint's 225th anniversary, the Mint decided to place a P on the Lincoln cent. This was a once-in-a-lifetime event, and collectors immediately noticed. Now here's where the story gets more exciting. Most of the 2017 P pennies are still just worth face value. You can find them in circulation, and maybe they'll sell for a little more to a collector. But a small number of them have special characteristics, errors, rare conditions, and unique strikes that make them worth a fortune. The $585,340 in one of these coins, graded in pristine condition and with a rare striking error, ended up at auction and sold for a jaw-dropping $585,340. Yes, a single penny, a coin that most people would ignore, turned into a small fortune. Think about that for a second. This coin started as a regular cent in someone's change, but because of its condition, rarity, and collector demand, it became one of the most valuable modern Lincoln cents in history. What makes it valuable so? You might be asking, what exactly makes this coin worth so much? There are three main factors that play a role. Number 1, condition. Coins that are graded at the highest level, like Mint State 68 or higher, are extremely rare. Out of billions of coins struck, only a handful come out in such flawless condition. Number 2, errors. Some 2017 P cents have unusual errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or other minting mistakes. These errors can turn an ordinary coin into a treasure worth thousands of dollars. And number 3, historical significance. Since 2017 was the only year the penny carried the P mint mark, collectors are especially interested. This makes the coin a unique piece of US coinage history. How to check your CHANG. Now the question is, could you have one of these pennies in your collection or even in your pocket right now? The answer is yes. Many of these coins are still in circulation, and millions of people don't realize what they're holding. Here's what you need to do. First, grab any 2017 pennies you find. Check if they have the P mint mark right under the date. Then, look closely for unusual features, doubling in the letters, off-center designs, or sharp details with no scratches. If your coin looks special, it might be worth sending to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Even if your coin isn't the $1 million version, it could still be worth anywhere from a few dollars to several hundred depending on condition and rarity. Why collectors love these coins. Collectors are fascinated by this coin because it represents a turning point in US mint history. For over 225 years, the Philadelphia Mint struck pennies without marking them. But in 2017, that all changed. That little letter P turned an ordinary coin into something people will remember forever. For collectors, it's not just about money. It's about owning a piece of history, something rare and significant that tells a story about the nation's coinage. And the best part? Anyone could find one. You don't need to be rich, you don't need to go to a fancy coin shop. All you need is a little bit of luck and a sharp eye when looking at your change. Final THOUGHTS. So the next time you see a penny, don't just toss it aside. Look carefully, especially if it's from 2017 and has the P mint mark. Who knows? You might be holding the next $585,340 treasure in your hand. That's the magic of coin collecting. Ordinary coins can turn into extraordinary finds, and the story of the 2017 P penny proves it. OUTRO. Thank you so much for watching Rare US Coins. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in everyday change, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a future video. Today's video is going to blow your mind because we are talking about a United States coin that looks so ordinary, but in reality, it could be worth a fortune on the collector's market. We are talking about the 2004 Lincoln cent. That's right, a simple 1-cent coin, but depending on its condition and rarity factors, the market value has reached unbelievable numbers. In fact, one rare variety has been valued at over $585,341. Imagine holding a penny in your hand that could pay for a house, buy a luxury car, or even completely change your life. So, let's dive deep into the history, the varieties, the minting errors, and the collector's demand that make this 1-cent coin one of the most fascinating stories in American numismatics. First, let's talk about the basics. The 2004 Lincoln cent was struck at the Denver Mint. In general, these coins are very common, and millions were produced for everyday circulation. Most of them are only worth face value, 1 cent. But here is where things get interesting. Collectors all around the world know that sometimes a rare error or a unique die variety can completely change the value of a coin. For the 2004 penny, certain error coins and high-grade examples have pushed values to astronomical levels. Now, let's break it down. What exactly makes a coin like this so valuable? There are a few major factors. Number 1, minting errors. Errors happen when something goes wrong in the minting process. For example, a double die error, where the design is stamped twice slightly off, can cause the lettering or numbers to appear doubled. This makes the coin rare and highly collectible. Another type of error is an off-center strike, where the design is not perfectly aligned. Even missing letters, planchet errors, or die cracks can increase the value. Number 2, condition. This is known in the coin world as the grade of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. If you happen to find a 2004 Lincoln cent in pristine mint state condition, especially graded by a trusted company like PCGS or NGC, you could be looking at a huge profit. Some coins in top grades are valued at thousands, tens of thousands, and in this special case, over $500,000. Number 3, rarity and demand. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that stand out from the ordinary. If only a handful of rare coins exist, or if the coin is tied to a special story in history, the demand skyrockets. And when demand goes up and supply is limited, the price follows. That is exactly why the 2004 penny has reached such a shocking market value. Think about it for a second. A coin that most people would throw into a jar, ignore in a drawer, or even give away could actually be worth more than $500,000. That is why I always tell viewers on rare US coins to check their change carefully. You never know what treasure you might find hiding in plain sight. Let's take a moment to imagine the possibilities. If you had one of these coins, you could auction it off and potentially earn enough money to cover your mortgage, pay off debts, or invest in your future. That is the exciting part of coin collecting. It's not just about history or metal, it's about the thrill of the hunt, the chance to discover something extraordinary. Now, some of you may be wondering, how can you identify if you have a valuable 2004 penny? Here are a few tips. First, carefully examine the coin under good lighting or use a magnifying glass. Look at the date, the mint mark D for Denver, and check for any signs of doubling, unusual markings, or off-center strikes. Also pay close attention to the condition. If the coin looks shiny and flawless with no scratches, it might be worth submitting to a professional grading service. Second, do your research. There are many online resources, coin forums, and auction sites where you can compare your coin to known valuable examples. Remember, knowledge is power in the world of numismatics. Third, never clean your coins. Cleaning a coin can damage it and reduce its value dramatically. Collectors prefer original condition, even if the coin looks dirty or tarnished. Before we wrap up, let me highlight again the most shocking part of this story. A simple 2004 1-cent coin has been recorded with a market value of $585,341. That is not just a random number. That is the power of rarity, condition, and collector demand. And that is why we love exploring coins here on this channel. So next time you get change at the store, or dig through your old coin jar, take a closer look. That 1-cent coin in your hand could be a hidden jackpot waiting to be discovered. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Rare US Coins. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about other valuable coins, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another exciting upload. And remember, every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune.